You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
I'll put you in one of the movies. I need a crackhead for the new scary. I need a crack and a meth head all mixed together. You're perfect. I need someone that looks like a wet Muppet. That's what I am. I need crack and meth together. I need creth together. I want someone to look like they'll sell your car, rob you, and suck your all at the same time. Soulja Boy.
For myself and Soulja Boy. He in the building, I got all this paperwork. I check out everything that's going on with him. Virally.
50 Cent's documentary didn't just bring Diddy back into the conversation. It also put attention on everyone around him. When the documentary hit the top of Netflix charts, people started paying even more attention. But one familiar voice went quiet. Snoop Dogg, who usually speaks out online, stayed completely silent. In media, staying quiet during a crisis can speak louder than defending yourself. When a controversy grows, it makes people wonder, is silence a way to protect yourself or a sign of danger?
We're losing.
Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose this source.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
$15,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're gonna pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, you know, one thing led to another, and I was like, yeah, all right, well then, you know, F you, you know, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50. And this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and goes out of this documentary. And he definitely don't pay, he determine what somebody get paid. It's not his documentary like that. I was like, oh, so if it's not his documentary and I spoke to him like that, I don't need to be doing nothing with you because I'm doing this on the strength of him. But you gonna pay me if I do it. So it went back and forth, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit, and then they had Kirk Burrows giving me calls and everything like that. What are you calling me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, get out of here. I know what kind of dude you is anyway. Me and you cool and everything, Kirk, but don't call me about no business with this stuff like that. And then what I found out is that he was making a deal, cutting a deal for himself as well as Tim. You understand? And I was trying to get a deal for all 3 of us. You understand? So that's how them industry cats go. You know, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this. So then he called me back again, and I told him, like, listen, man, don't you ever call my phone again, Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Because we had got into it about somebody calling him. He told me Groovy Lou called him and wanted to know why Gene's still doing this to Puff and everything like that. And I mentioned it on the Gene Deal show. You understand? I said something. Then he called me back like I was lying. And listen to me, Kurt. Don't call me about what these clowns and these niggas say right here, bro. I had nothing, and especially don't call me talking about what I gotta fix, when in fact you know what you told me and you know what our conversation was. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about why I'm not in the thing, the lady was talking greasy to me. She had no right to talk greasy to me. And then she told me that 50 didn't have the power to do anything, but they using his name to like push the whole documentary. And that's what it was about. So that's why you don't see a cameo other than the pictures they used of me on the film in the documentary. I got like 3 or 4 pictures in the documentary that I've seen of myself. You know, some people say they saw more, but I know three different times where I was certain places and you could actually see me in the documentary, and that's the only thing you're gonna get. But the stories that they told in the documentary, bruh, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more. So I ain't in the documentary because that lady that was the director, I think, what's her name? Alex State, you know her name?
Through Dog has openly talked about his long-standing friendship with Diddy, saying their connection went beyond music and into family life. Their kids grew up together, went to the same schools, and even had overlapping careers, forming a network that reflected their parents' bond. Being this close shapes the story because closeness brings shared consequences. When scandals hit your inner circle, staying neutral becomes impossible. The takeaway is unsettling. Closeness doesn't just create loyalty, it also creates accountability.
Diddy want to poison Jamie Foxx?
If you know that you have, well, just to give some insight to people watching, when you come under federal investigation, they send you a target letter. You know, you get informed that you're being investigated. So if you wanted to tie up loose ends and you were concerned that people that you knew could incriminate you, you may have interest in eliminating them. We've seen this all throughout history.
I mean, this sounds kind of mafioso stuff, but I sense that you're talking from a lot of experience here, that you genuinely believe this is a highly dangerous situation involving a highly dangerous man with very dangerous people acting on his behalf, potentially.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely speaking from experience. This is definitely a highly dangerous situation because this guy was the middleman. He was the party guy. He was the person who lined up the parties and festivities for a lot of guys a lot more wealthy and affluent than him.
Old interviews have come back into the spotlight, especially moments when Diddy spoke vaguely on TV and Snoop reacted in certain ways. People now read these clips differently. They aren't proof of anything, but they show how public perception changes once trust is questioned. Body language that was ignored before is suddenly analyzed. This shows a bigger truth about modern scandals. Once doubt enters the story, every past moment is seen through suspicion. The lesson is clear: reputation shapes context, not the other way around.
You know, I'm a person who believes that the Epstein's list is very similar to Diddy's list. I'm a believer in that. And you know, whenever it comes to protecting women and children, I'm gonna be fierce. Big ups to my sponsor, Stallion Gear, for putting up funds to help us go out and help people. You know, I want to salute Michael Franzese because he's probably the only famous person who donated to our campaign for protecting women and children, going down to the orphanages and passing out toys and gifts. Because at the end of the day, us as men, we must learn to police ourselves in our own community, because if not, these type of activities will continue to run rampant. I know this situation is dangerous. I've had several attempts on my life throughout my career. And you know, where there's one dangerous guy, there's a group.
You referenced earlier, I have a history of heinous acts against people who behave like that. What did you mean by that?
Well, there's a lawsuit that I'm listed in where allegedly I quipped Combs about his sexual deviant activity, and I protected the plaintiff and pointed a firearm at Mr. Combs. That's what the paperwork says. They don't have their facts right, but, you know, I have a reputation for...
Claims from Suge Knight about the night Tupac was shot have resurfaced, stirring up old tensions. He points to unusual absences, emotional reactions, and unexplained behavior from Snoop during key moments. These claims are still disputed, but their persistence shows the lasting fractures in hip-hop history. When major figures share overlapping yet conflicting stories, certainty vanishes. The deeper lesson is clear. Unresolved history doesn't disappear. It waits for the next moment to come back.
Big verdict for us.
Yeah, were you? So this is
our case.
Yeah, man. So for those that don't know, give us a backstory. So Soulja Boy, and for one, this is already like a $4 million case. But give us the backstory on the sexual assault and everything.
So Soulja Boy beat and sexually assaulted 2 different women. We represent both of them. The cases were consolidated, but at the 11th hour, they filed a motion to sever, which means to separate the cases. So the first case went to trial, and the jury returned a $4.25 million
And this
verdict.
is an assistant?
This was an assistant that became a girlfriend.
Right.
And the other victim is the mother of his child. So...
Just the DA, how could they not pick up a case that seemed like it's like severe enough that we can go and see this on criminally, there's nothing happening, but you can go and see the civil lawsuit, you know?
I'm gonna tell you why, Big, because when it comes to these types of relationships, whether it's physical or sexual assault, oftentimes people think, well, why did the person stay?
Right.
You know?
We blame the victim.
Yeah, you blame the victim, man. And then, you know, why are they raising the allegations now? Let's not forget, no one believed Cassie Ventura until we all saw that video.
Right.
They thought, listen, this is an ex. She's just trying to shake down a rich and famous celebrity. You know, she was with him for a decade. You know, our victim was with...
An attorney for alleged victims publicly confirmed that explicit recordings exist involving Diddy and another, unnamed high-profile figure. While no names were revealed, this confirmation added serious legal weight to an already heated conversation. The focus shifted from gossip to the law. Yet where transparency stops, speculation grows. When information is kept secret, rumors rush in to fill the silence.
Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car, I said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, you know, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as such, she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, the overtime conditioned for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as...
Former insiders like Gene Deal say that documentaries often soften stories by leaving out names and details that make things complicated. He notes that some people keep coming up in discussions, but were cut from the final version. Whether this is caution or control, selective storytelling raises ethical questions. When truth is filtered for safety or profit, audiences only get fragments, not the full picture. The takeaway is clear: delaying the truth doesn't mean it's gone, but it does weaken it.
Usually when you notice Puff was in those kind of violent relationships with his females, this been going on ever since 2-3 years. This ain't just something that just happened. This ain't the first fight. It ain't the last fight. You know? Yeah, I noticed all. I seen a lot. I seen him walk in with scratches and bruises on his face. And you be like, who scratched you up, dog? Who's scratching you? What, you had a fight with a cat? What's going on? You know? So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? You know, like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name. Not yet. Could be bad business, bad friendships, bad blood, all of that kind of bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bad boy.
Yeah, man, terrible, man. Just hearing that. I mean, and it's coming from you too. You somebody that, you know, you was close to Diddy and you was on Bad Boy. So, yeah, man, it's heartbreaking, man. How you feel about the two victims that came forward accusing Diddy and Aaron Hall of raping her? When you hear stuff like that, you're not surprised, huh?
Not at all. Not at all. I seen, I had to take a second to really reflect. And I wanted to see, did I see these kind of things in his actions when I knew him or when I was around him? Did I see him have those bursts of violence? Just not on, you'd be like, he did it. If you seen that, it was another video. He won some, he just over cocky. That's why he got fired from Uptown. He's over, what do you call someone who's overly confident? To the point to where it's called arrogance. Right? He's arrogant. Nothing wrong with being arrogant, but when you're arrogant and you do it in spiteful ways, then, so when I seen that and I reflect, and I'm like, man, I do remember seeing him be being physically violent towards females. I seen him be physically violent towards producers, other record execs, even artists. Always those kind of stories, man. But those stories are seen from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Survivors and commentators have criticized what they call selective accountability in celebrity culture. They say that fame often decides who is punished and who is protected. These claims don't just challenge the individuals involved, they challenge the audience, asking why admiration so often outweighs scrutiny. While allegations need proof, patterns can't be ignored. The bottom line is clear: justice struggles when fame calls the shots.